Imagine this for a moment. You meet someone new, or maybe you've been with your partner for a little while, and everything feels good, almost too good. You're excited, hopeful, curious. But in the quiet moments, a question sneaks in. Is this real? Is this going to last? The truth is, no one can predict the future of a relationship with perfect accuracy. But there are patterns in human behavior, emotional bonding, and relationship science that reveal what usually sticks and what usually falls apart. That's where the 369 rule comes in. And today we're breaking down exactly how this rule can help you understand where your relationship is heading and whether the love you're building has the depth, connection, and emotional intelligence to stand the test of time. I'm the intimacy doctor, real talk, real science, real intimacy. And as we dive into this, I want you to stay curious, gentle with yourself, and open to learning something new about your heart, your patterns, and your connection. The 369 rule is simple in theory, but powerful in practice. It's based on the idea that relationships reveal their true nature in stages. At 3 months, the first layer of truth appears. At 6 months, the deeper emotional patterns come into focus. And at 9 months, the foundation or the cracks become almost impossible to ignore. Relationship psychologists often talk about how attachment, communication habits, trust, and emotional needs start to surface over time. Early relationships feel intense, exciting, and full of possibility. But that early energy can easily hide red flags, emotional incompatibility, or mismatched expectations. So the 369 rule isn't about judging your relationship. It's about observing it. It's a guide to help you see clearly. Let's start with the first major insight, the 3-month mark. In the first 3 months, most people are still showing their most polished selves. We're all influenced by something psychologists call impression management, a natural behavior where we highlight our best qualities and soften the ones we're not proud of. But around the 3-month point, something shifts. The brain starts relaxing from the early dopamine rush, and people begin acting in ways that are more consistent and natural. That's when emotions, communication styles, and daily habits start to come through. Ask yourself, at 3 months, do I feel safe? Do I feel respected? Do I feel like I can show up as myself without fear? These questions reveal more than any romantic gesture ever could. This stage is also where early signs of emotional maturity or emotional avoidance become visible. Does your partner listen? Do they respond with empathy when you bring up concerns? Are they curious about you, your past, your needs? Do they take responsibility for mistakes? Share your thoughts below. What do you think tends to show up during the first 3 months? If this resonates with you so far, hit that like button so more people can find this conversation and learn something that could help their relationships grow. Now, let's move into the 6-month insight, and this one is big. 6 months is often called the clarity stage in relationship psychology. By this time, most couples have had at least one disagreement, maybe one uncomfortable conversation, or one moment where the fantasy fades and the real person stands in front of you. This is where emotional connection deepens, if both partners are willing to communicate with honesty and kindness. Healthy relationships aren't defined by the absence of problems. They're defined by how partners handle them. Around 6 months, ask yourself, how do we resolve conflict? Do we repair after disagreements? Do we communicate with respect? Relationship science shows that couples who build strong conflict, repair habits early on, are far more likely to stay together long-term. And this is also the stage where deeper values start to reveal themselves, how your partner treats people, how they react under stress, how they respond to disappointment, how generous they are with emotional support. You might notice their patterns with trust, vulnerability, and intimacy. You might also notice your own patterns, maybe ones you didn't expect. The 6-month mark isn't about perfection, it's about recognition. It's about paying attention to the emotional signals, the communication style, the sense of teamwork, and the willingness to grow together. And now we arrive at the 9-month insight, the one that often predicts long-term success. 9 months into a relationship, the mask is gone, the habits are clear, and the deeper emotional patterns tend to be fully visible. If the relationship is built on genuine connection, emotional intelligence, mutual respect, and trust, this stage feels steady. It feels supportive. It feels like two people are slowly building a shared emotional home. But when a relationship is not aligned, this stage can feel confusing, unstable, or exhausting. At 9 months, ask yourself, are we moving in the same direction? Do our long-term needs and values match? Do we feel like partners, not opponents? This is also when future planning conversations start to happen naturally, not with pressure, not with fear, but with warmth and clarity. Maybe it's talking about moving in together, building a routine, or talking about deeper commitments. Not because you're rushing, but because you're aligned. Psychologists say this stage reveals something called relationship fit, the blend of compatibility, communication, affection, practical alignment, and emotional health. When the fit is good, you feel grounded. When the fit is off, you feel drained, and your body usually knows the truth before your mind does. So notice how your nervous system feels in your partner's presence. Do you feel calm, seen, accepted, supported? These emotional cues are some of the strongest predictors of long-term relationship stability. Before we continue, I want to ask you something personal. What stage do you think your relationship is in right now? The 3-month stage, the 6-month stage, or the 9-month stage? Let me know in the comments. Your reflection might help someone else who's watching this and trying to understand their own relationship journey. Now let's weave in the fourth insight, the insight about patterns. The 3-6-9 rule isn't only about your partner. It's also about you. What shows up in the first 3 months of your relationships? Do you tend to idealize people early on? Do you disappear when things get real? Do you avoid conflict? Do you rush into intensity? These patterns matter just as much as the other person's. Because a relationship isn't just what someone gives you, it's what you co-create. In relationship science, we talk a lot about attachment styles, emotional regulation, and communication strategies. But here's the truth, none of these concepts are meant to label or limit you. They're meant to empower you. Understanding your patterns helps you build healthier intimacy. It helps you show up with honesty, trust, and emotional presence. It helps you choose partners who can meet you where you are. So when you reflect on the 3-6-9 rule, don't just look outward. Look inward too. Growth is always a shared path. And that brings us to the final insight. Your relationship's trajectory is not about speed. It's about alignment. It's about whether your connection is growing at a steady pace, whether communication is getting deeper, whether trust feels easier, whether intimacy is becoming more natural, whether your nervous system feels safe. The 3-6-9 rule is not a test you pass. It's a rhythm you observe. A relationship that is meant to last usually becomes more stable as time passes, not more stressful. More connected, not more confusing. More open, not more closed. So take your time, notice the emotional patterns. Notice the growth, notice the truth, because clarity is a form of love, too, especially when it's directed toward yourself. As we close today, I'd love to hear from you. Do you think the 3-6-9 rule applies to your past or current relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this video gave you insight, comfort, or clarity, tap that like button so more people can find it and learn something that could strengthen the way they love. And if you want more conversations on intimacy, emotional intelligence, communication, and relationship science, make sure you subscribe to the Intimacy Doctor and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. We have deeper topics coming, including one about how emotional pacing in relationships affects long-term connection, and you won't want to miss it. Watch the next video in this series to explore how emotional alignment shapes the future of your love story. I'll see you there.